Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. I'm William Hyman. I'm your host, and this is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job, or they just really screw it up. Guys, today we have one from John Bryant. He is with civilrightslawyer.com. Please go over to John's channel and tell him I sent you guys over there. Show him some love. Hit and subscribe his site, and leave him a comment, a message. And if you would, please hit my like and subscribe. If you guys hit subscribe, sometimes it takes on the YouTube and sometimes it doesn't. I've lost over 50 people that subscribe to me. People are sending me messages that they don't get to see my videos anymore. And it's like, well, we put out videos and, for some reason, YouTube just gets rid of them. It's beyond me. I don't know. I'm not running YouTube. Anyhow, today we got one is about serve and protect. Serving who? The blue line? Protecting the blue line? Because that's what it seems. You have cops that are so far out of control. They injure a young man who is a minor, and then they try to 5 or 6 times change the narrative, change the story, make it his fault, blah, 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 same crap we hear all the time. These cops out there are so far out of control. If we don't get these cops under control, people, I don't know what to tell you. You guys are going to get what you got, and it's a travesty, and the way these scumbags back to blue, cover each other up, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent. They dislocate a young man's elbow, and then they try to get the kid to apologize to them for making them dislocate his elbow. These are some sick individuals, and they're cops. Back to blue till it happens to you. It's a joke out there anymore. These cops are just a joke. Anyway, John Bryant, go tell him I sent you guys over there. Check him out. He has a ton of videos. My girl actually likes listening to him because he actually makes sense, a lot more so than I do. But hey, different strokes for different folks. Anyway, let's check this video out, guys, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I will try to stay out of it, but I guarantee you it ain't going to happen.
A mom called the cops on her 16-year-old son because she was allegedly having trouble controlling him.
Make it dramatic.
Now, this psychopath here, she is bipolar. It says so in the video. You can't tell by looking at her. Okay. Wow. I don't even know what to say. She gets the cops to help her control her child instead of her skanky ass doing her job as a mother and protecting her child. And then it gets blown out of proportion, and it's the kid's fault. And it's not even her kid. It's another kid. Because our police department is so incompetent anymore, they can't do anything right. They can't do, it's just, they're a joke. So let's check this out.
For him.
Yeah, 100%. We'll do the whole thing.
The cops arrive on the scene. They see the kid, and one of the cops jumps out of his cruiser.
Yo, ground. Get on the ground. I will tase you.
Threatens the kid, runs.
Now, did you see the kid run? Did you see him resist? Did you see him bolt? Remember this, because it's going to come back in later.
Towards him and basically tackles the kid to the ground.
I'm walking. I know his mom.
Shut the I know his mom. Get on the ground. What the fuck?
Shut the fuck up by an officer to a minor? This cop ought to be tarred and feathered.
The other cops then pile on. They pull the kid's arm behind his back, dislocating his elbow.
Mom, I'm sorry. I'm trying, Mom. Mom.
Break it. I don't stop resisting.
It's as if they've just captured an armed and dangerous fugitive, and they're just taking no chances at all with officer safety. Only after they do this do the cops bother to identify the kid.
Are you Armani?
No.
You're not Armani?
No. I don't know what's going on.
As it turns out, they tackled and injured the wrong kid. This wasn't the 16-year-old Hispanic male wearing a black shirt and shorts that they were looking for because he wasn't listening to his mom, but rather a 15-year-old black male wearing a white shirt and pants who was completely innocent and now injured.
Get on the fucking ground.
And why are the cops trying to help the mother make the child behave? That's not their job. What a joke.
Confusing me with a kid who's this tall and white.
So what did the cops do? They went into immediate cover-up mode. They gaslit the TV news media as well as the public, making up facts that never existed as far as I can tell.
15 days after that takedown, Marco resigned. His letter says he wanted to pursue other career opportunities and does not mention this incident.
Yeah, he resigns. That way he can go down the street to another cop shop or to the sheriff's department and get a job. Because if he gets fired, he loses his qualified immunity and his certification, and then he can't be a cop anymore. If he resigns, he can just go down the street. Guys, where is the integrity of these officers? Where is their transparency at? It's a joke.
Or a gun, I'm not gonna lie, or a knife or something.
I have no idea.
I'm Officer Markle. So his friend got Baker-acted, and we thought it was him because he ran to. His friend had to get Baker-acted, unfortunately. We thought it was him because he just ran, so we thought it was him that we were looking for. But
now, did you hear what he said? He ran. Where did he run to? You said stop. He put his hands up and got down on his knees, and you tackled him like a thug, because that's what you clowns in blue are, is a gang member of a bunch of thugs.
turns out it wasn't. But now he's complaining of maybe shoulder or elbow pain.
Slammed him on the ground?
No.
Somebody did.
Did you throw him on the ground? No. What a bunch of lying scumbags in blue. And they all back each other up no matter what.
One of the cops has resigned, but I think that there is more to this story. I talked to the lawyer who represents the kid.
This was a call for service for help. This was not a call about any crime having been committed or that was about to be committed.
I reviewed all of the footage.
I'll let you know the extent of the injuries.
You don't really need
I know,
to.
but I'm going to be in touch with, because he shouldn't have been slammed on the ground.
Am I in trouble? Bro, I didn't even freaking do nothing.
Let's go through it and you can see for yourself.
Yeah, the reason you're in trouble is because they screwed up and now they have to make you the bad guy so they look good. What a bunch of low-life blue bag scumbags.
The local TV news reported that a Melbourne, Florida police officer has now resigned after an incident where the wrong teenager was tackled. This initially caught my attention because this is my hometown.
Now remember, guys, I told you in Florida they have to have a 36 IQ or lower to get hired as a police officer. And if this doesn't prove it, I don't know what does.
Not only that, but this actually happened on the very street that I grew up on, Lake Washington Road. So I wanted to find out what really happened. I got in touch with the lawyer representing the kid and I interviewed him. What did the officer do that is problematic?
Everything is problematic from the minute that a police officer jumps out of his car, taser in hand, and screams at him, "I will fucking tase you."
You may recognize him because I've interviewed him before. He also gave me all of the raw body cam footage. After watching it, I realized that there is way more to this story. I think that the police department may be gaslighting people a little bit here and that the local TV news really did not pick up on it.
Melbourne police are saying they thought they had found the missing kid. And so that's why they allegedly, took down this other teen. They immediately realized this wasn't the right kid. They took him out of those cuffs, but his arm had already been fractured.
Why did this particular officer resign? What did he actually do as compared to the other cops who were involved? This all began with a mom calling the police on her 16-year-old son. The first officer on the scene who talked with the mom is Officer Markle with the Melbourne Police Department. This is the guy who would eventually resign. More on that later. At first, there's no audio due to the officer's delay in turning on his body cam, but eventually we begin to hear the audio of what the mom is telling him.
Okay. He got lucky that the cop was nice and said, here, get a ticket for suspect. He wanted to be an ass because Armani fled because since he didn't have a license, he fled. Mom, I'm sorry. The guy put a gun to his head and everything. This was Monday. Mom, I have a gun. Oh, motherfucker, but now you want to choose a over your mom that you were calling on Monday and telling Mom, I love you, I'm sorry?
Right.
And I'm sorry to be late. I'm Cuban, bro. And I'm
You're
worked
good.
up.
You're good.
I got
you.
Now, we do a lot of Florida videos, and in a lot of Florida videos, you hear this same particular accent that this woman has. And I can tell you that this is not a Melbourne, Florida accent, which as far as I know, growing up there, doesn't exist. But rather, it's a Miami accent, such as we heard in the last video about the guy who was arrested after buying his dream truck in Miami.
Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around.
And this is because this woman apparently moved there from Miami a few years ago, as she explains to the officer.
He got extremely aggressive. He got aggressive with his pops the other day when we were moving because we lived in Gamble and I moved to Wickham Club because I'm doing the year lease so I could buy a house, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
The mom is talking very quickly and very aggressively, and the officer is just sort of absorbing what she's saying. The important thing to note is actually what she's not saying. She's complaining about her 16-year-old son, Armani. She's not alleging that Armani has committed any crime. She's just complaining about what seems to be fairly normal behavioral issues with teenage kids, especially boys. She says that she's starting to see aggressive behavior from Armani, and she wants to nip it in the butt now.
When we were moving, he got super aggressive with his pops, literally like he wanted to go at it with him. So I'm seeing that his aggressive behavior is starting to, and it's not happening. I'm nipping it in the butt now.
Right.
The problem is that's just sort of regular parenting that we all have to do. I have 2 teenagers, and they aren't easy. This woman is asking the police to do this job for her. She's not reporting a crime, she's asking for parenting help. Now later, the cops are going to spin this a little, and we'll come back to that. But you can hear for yourself what she's telling them and what she's not telling them.
And if he goes to Circles of Care, he goes to Circles of Care tonight. He got lucky he didn't go to jail on Monday, but today he goes to Circles of Care.
Again, she's not reporting a crime. She's not reporting that her son is in any immediate danger. She's requesting parenting help, and she's using the police as leverage against her son. Do what I say, or the police are going to take you to jail or take you to Circles of Care, which is a local mental health facility.
I'm actually going to give him 2 options. You either come home with me and she figures out her way home, or you go to Circles of Care tonight.
The cop explains that under certain circumstances, a person can be Baker acted, which basically means involuntary commitment. And the mom explains that she knows this because she used to drink and her husband previously Baker acted her twice.
Perfect. So we can evaluate him. It's called a Baker Act.
Yeah, I know.
So, okay, perfect.
It happened to me because I used to be a drinker. I've been 6 years sober.
Congratulations.
And
That's very awesome for you.
And my husband Baker acted me twice.
Gotcha.
In Miami once, and they took me here to Circles of Care once. I moved from Miami 5 years ago.
The officer explains that Armani may or may not meet the criteria for being Baker acted. The mom responds that she just wants them to make it dramatic, presumably to scare the kid into doing what his mom wants him to do.
We will look at him, talk to him.
See, and that's the job of every police officer in America, is to be the parent that this sleazebag lady cannot do for herself, and she has a child. And we wonder why America is going to hell in a handbasket. I wonder.
The question, see if he meets criteria. If he doesn't meet criteria for us,
okay,
that doesn't stop you from taking him.
But at least, even if it doesn't, at least so you can see that I work
definitely,
things up.
Definitely, yeah.
Let's make it dramatic for him.
Yeah, 100%. We'll do the whole thing.
Okay, so hold on, because the address is this one. His friend just sent it. He goes, please don't put me out there that I gave you the address. Oh, his friends are backing me up. They don't like the girl.
Perfect.
His friend came from Boston to spend the summer with him. He has not dedicated 5 minutes to Jace. I said, bro, there's time for boys, there's time for the family, there's time for the girlfriend.
Right.
Jace came from Boston. You guys have not spent all year together, and you're choosing this little that you met 2 weeks ago over your boy that's been your homeboy for years? No, buddy, no, I don't roll that way.
Right.
Okay, this is the address, sorry, because everybody's looking at me all hyped up.
You're good.
So the mom gives Officer Markle the address to where her son is staying with his girlfriend, which is actually right in front of where they're standing. The mom also gives the officer a description of what her son is wearing, including the fact that he's wearing shorts, not pants.
Perfect. I'll drive over there. Perfect.
He's wearing, in case he's wearing shorts. I really thought he was going to take off. But he's
Perfect.
wearing shorts and no shirt. He left the house barefoot with his socks, shorts, and no shirt.
Perfect.
And this is his. I'm following you.
Immediately after this, a teenager walks up to the mom. The teenager is black, not Hispanic, and he's wearing pants, not shorts. He's obviously not Armani. Officer Markle sees him and he says, "What's up, buddy?"
What's up, buddy?
I'm staying over there.
You do not tell Armani you spoke to me. You do not. What's going on?
I don't know.
Okay.
This is Judah Everidge, a friend of Armani's who lives in the area. Armani's mom then tells this teenager that Armani is in trouble and that he's either going to be committed to circles of care or he's going to come home with her.
Armani's in serious trouble right now. He's either going to get big rocks or he goes home with me. You do not let anybody know that you saw me here. What are you doing in the street?
I was in work.
Where's your mom?
I was bouncing at a house downstairs.
Okay. You haven't talked to Jit? Nothing?
Well, they just asked me to come over.
They just asked you to come over.
Then she questions the teenager about what he's doing as if it's any of her business, and she directs him to get into her car because she's worried that he could warn Armani that she's got the cops looking for him.
Can you get in the car with me and go over there? Because I'm not trusting right now that you're going to let them know that we're coming. Sorry.
You're fine.
Officer Markle watches all of this and just sorts of laughs to himself as he gets back into his police cruiser.
See, what does that tell you when the 36 IQ laughs at the mother because she's an idiot?
At this point, Officer Markle is 100% aware of the fact that Judah is not Armani. Markle then drives through the apartment complex parking lot slowly to where two other Melbourne police officers are standing around. These officers are Officer Joseph and Officer Alabis. Markle basically briefs these other two officers on what Armani's mom had told him.
So, 16-year-old living with mom, let 16-year-old's 14-year-old girlfriend live with them for a couple of weeks. She's overstaying her welcome. Her parents don't know where she's been at. And then mom kicked 14-year-old girl out. And then he got pissed off and went with her. So
she's been living with mom and kid without her parents knowing?
Mm-hmm. And then
Whose address is this?
And parents haven't reported her missing?
Nope. So I guess this is, here she is right here, but I guess this is probably her parents.
So that's
This
mom.
is 16-year-old
Armani's
males. Armani's mom. Okay.
After Markle points out Armani's mom to one of the other officers, the other officer sees that there's a teenage boy sitting in the car with her. He asks, "Is that him in the car with her?" Officer Markle responds that no, that's just one of Armani's friends, referring to Judah.
Is the kid in the car with him?
No, this is just one of his friends, but she didn't want him texting Armani in case he runs, because I guess he was in a traffic stop on Monday and fled because he doesn't have a driver's license, so he fled from whoever.
So he has charges?
Gotcha. No.
Armani's mom then walks back up and she shows the officers a photo of her son and his girlfriend. So now all three of these police officers should be completely aware that Judah is not Armani and Armani is not Judah.
Okay, so apparently
Just got a citation.
they just called him, hey, we have a big old party going on. They just called him to pull up. Corey, your party's coming to an end.
Perfect. So if you don't mind, can you just...
Who's the female?
What's the female's name?
That's her.
What's her name?
I don't know her last name. And that's my son.
55.
Gotcha. Perfect.
One of those.
Sorry, I'm just filling you in on
No, that's fine.
what's
I appreciate
happening.
it. I don't pay, bro.
Whose address is this? Is this
That's
her?
Jit. No, this is his friend's address.
This
I don't
is
know
his
where
friend's
she,
address.
And
she lives in
so do you
Rockledge.
know that he's here?
Yeah, it's confirmed. He just called all his boys to pull up here. He's here.
Oh, okay.
It's confirmed. I
Okay.
can't say who told me because then I'm putting him on blast, but it's confirmed that he's here.
Okay. Do you know if this has a back?
It does. It has little courtyards in the back. Partially. It's partially fenced. But
Do you
like,
want to
there's
head
like
back
a-
there? We'll try to get contact with him.
They have all seen Judah, and now they have also seen a photo of Armani. The mom explains that one of Armani's friends told her that he should be arriving at this particular apartment for a party. So Officer Markle begins to walk around to the back side of the apartment to look for Armani. As Markle is standing behind the apartment waiting, you can suddenly hear Armani's mom, still on the other side, it sounds, of the apartment complex. Then you see what appears to be a police officer running away in between the buildings. Immediately, Officer Markle begins to also run.
Big guy is running. You go that way, I got this way.
He appears to be sort of running aimlessly in a large circle. Eventually crossing Lake Washington Road, after which he arrives at the location where the two other officers have a suspect on the ground.
I know his mama's story. I know his mama's story. I'm trying, Mom, break it. I got it. Oh, fuck.
Now let's back up to look at what actually happened from the body cam views of those other two officers, Joseph and Alabis. As Markle went around to the rear of that apartment, Officer Alabis walks up to the front door of that apartment and he begins to interact with the occupants of that apartment.
Police department.
Go on. Whatever.
They're looking through the window. And I see them in the top. I see. Is that a head or not?
Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Whatever he encounters was censored by the Melbourne Police Department, but shortly into that interaction, we start to hear Armani's mom yelling, which we could also hear on Officer Markle's body cam. It was at that point that Officers Alabis and Joseph begin running in that direction.
Where? Yeah, he's running eastbound through the complex. Hey, get in the car, Thomas, and go through the park force. Armani, please!
Officer Joseph goes running towards the mom, and Officer Alabis gets into his police cruiser.
Lake Washington.
Eventually, he throws the cruiser in the park and he opens the door. After he opens the door, he immediately says, "Get on the fucking ground."
Get on the fucking ground. Get on the ground. I will fucking tase you.
And it's then that we see Judah Everidge with his hands in the air. Before we go any further, let's read the police report about what you're about to see, and then we can watch the footage and compare. This is the police report from this incident, which appears to me to have been written by Officer Markle, and he writes, "I then pursued the juvenile and observed him run northbound across Lake Washington Road. As Officer Alabis arrived in his marked patrol unit with his emergency lights activated, the juvenile was given verbal commands to lay on the ground and put his hands behind his back. He did not comply. So let's look directly back at Officer Alabis's body cam to see if this is how it actually happened.
I'm walking. I know his mom. I know his mom.
Shut the Now, he was running, resisting. He's on his knees with his hands in the air. Okay.
I know his mom. Get on the ground.
What the f***? Get on the ground. I know his mom. I'm sorry. I know his mom. I'm sorry. I know his mom. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mom. Mom. I don't stop resisting.
Inspector. It's Okay. Stop.
Hang tight.
Relax.
What's going on with your arm?
Give us your other arm.
Hold on. Let me get another cup.
Look at my arm.
Where?
Relax. Stop. Relax.
Lay on your chest.
Lay on your chest.
No, you can't. Lay on your chest.
I was just walking out.
You saw us running.
I know our money I can't explain. I know his mom. I know his mom.
You know whose mom?
Is that female? I was just in the car with her. I was the one in the car with her. You were there.
What?
I was in the... I don't know.
Are you Armani?
No.
You're not Armani?
No. I don't know what's going on. I was in the car. I was in the car.
Why are you running from us?
I'm not
Go to
running.
that guy. You said there's somebody
else. I was
else.
crossing the street.
What's your name?
Judah, Armani ran. I saw Armani run. I know his mom.
In reality, this is what Officer Alabis said immediately upon opening the door of his cruiser. This is what he said. Get on the f***ing ground.
Get on the f***ing ground. Get on the ground.
Then we can see from his body cam that the juvenile is not running. He's stationary and he appears to be fully compliant with his hands in the air. Nevertheless, when he's told to get on the f***ing ground, while keeping his hands in the air, the juvenile drops down onto his knees. He was not told how to get on the ground, just to get on the ground, and that's what he did. Then after the juvenile drops to the ground with his hands in the air, Officer Alabis, in response to this obvious compliance, says, "I will f***ing tase you," as he walks towards the juvenile.
I will f***ing tase you.
With his knees on the ground and his hands in the air, the juvenile attempts to explain to Officer Alabis that he's not Armani, that he knows Armani's mom, but when he reaches him, Officer Alabis grabs him and says, "Shut the f*** up, get on the ground," and he begins to violently push Judah flat onto the ground.
And this is the way that a police officer should talk to a juvenile. What a bunch of low-life scumbags. And then they can't understand why they don't get any respect. They're a joke.
Inspector! Okay. Stop. Relax.
What's going on with your arm?
Give us your other arm.
Hold on.
It's dislocated it, you asshole.
Where?
Relax.
Setting aside the fact that Officer Alabis has just grabbed the entirely wrong teenager, keep in mind that the actual correct teenager he was looking for was still a teenager, one who was not charged with any crime or even under arrest. It was never alleged that Armani had committed any crime or hurt anyone, or that he posed any danger to anyone. This was a behavioral complaint by his mother designed to coerce Armani into coming home with her or else punishing him with commitment to a mental facility. So even assuming some reasonable mistake about identity had been made here, this officer is still intending to treat some other teenager in this way, threatening to f***ing tase him, telling him to shut the f*** up, and shoving him violently onto the ground, even though we can see that he is fully compliant.
Judah was raised to really respect law enforcement and has in his family history both military service and law enforcement. His father was 14 years as a deputy sheriff in Arapahoe County, Colorado, former military police, I believe serving both in Iraq and Afghanistan. I believe that Judah's kind of future plans included the potential for military service, which this now dislocated and fractured elbow may materially affect his ability to do that. But his father raised him to understand, being of African American heritage, how to deal with police if encountered and if there were demands made on him, and how to actually bring his hands down, palms out, down to the back of his back to be properly handcuffed. And before any of the actual violence took place, my client was in a completely submissive position and surrounded by much bigger, much heavier, much more experienced adults in uniform. This was a false arrest followed by a use of physical violence that was completely unnecessary and unwarranted.
Even worse, we can see that the official police report narrative is a total lie. We don't see Judah Everidge running at any point. We don't see Judah failing to comply at all. He has his hands in the air, and he drops to his knees immediately with his hands in the air. And when he tries to explain that he's the wrong person, he's told to shut the fuck up and subjected to violence. As Officer Alabis tells Judah to get on the fucking ground, doing his best to shove Judah's face down into the dirt, Officer Joseph arrives and immediately joins in. Then within mere seconds, Officer Markle arrives and he also joins in. At this point, Judah, who appears to be all of 130 pounds, is surrounded and manhandled by 3 grown men police officers, all of whom appear to me to be in excess of 200 pounds or well in excess. This is where one of the cops then grabs Judah's right arm and he bends it in a direction it's not supposed to bend, dislocating his elbow.
Shut the f***. I know his mom. Get on the ground. What the f***? Get on the ground. I know his mom. I'm sorry. I know his mom. I'm sorry.
And this is the way that the cops act in the United States, especially in Florida where you have a 36 IQ for a cop.
I know his mom. I'm sorry. I'm trying, Mom. Mom. We're going to break it. You don't fucking stop resisting. It's factory. It's fuck.
Okay. Stop. Relax.
What's going on with your arm?
Give us your other arm.
Hold on.
What's going on with your arm? You just dislocated it.
Where?
Relax.
Lay on your chest. Lay on your chest. No, you can't. Lay on your chest.
I was just walking.
You saw us running.
We already know that Officer Markle resigned, but was it Officer Markle who was responsible for this, as the police department seemingly let the TV news believe? If we slow down the footage or stop it, it appears to me that it's the same officer who made the initial mistake of identity to begin with, and who then made threats to injure Judah, who actually did the injuring. Looking at Officer Alabis's body cam, it appears to me that he has both hands on Judah's right arm at the moment that the arm gets injured. Again, 15-year-old Judah has 3 full-grown men on top of him, pinning him face down at this point, but who are also pulling his right arm back behind his body. You can tell that Judah instantly feels pain when they bend his arm the wrong way because he cries out that his arm hurts.
Mom.
Then one of the officers responds to Judah crying out in pain about his arm by saying, "We're gonna break it if you don't fucking stop resisting."
We're going to break it. You don't stop resisting.
It's difficult to tell which officer says that, but it seems to me that this is also Officer Alabis, who clearly likes to throw out the F-bomb and also threaten to physically injure 15-year-olds when he's interacting with them. And then the officers do just that, and you can tell that they've just injured Judah's arm because he starts crying out in pain. And then the same officer who just threatened to break his arm, now seconds later, calmly says, "What's going on with your arm?" as if he didn't just injure it.
Relax.
What's going on with your arm?
Give us your other arm.
Hold on. Let me get another cup. Look at my arm.
Officer Markle, who assisted with this and who is now attempting to handcuff Judah, tells Judah to relax.
Where?
Relax.
Lay on your chest. Lay on your chest. No, you can't. Lay on your chest.
I was just walking.
And he has a clear view of Judah because Judah's head is right there. Markle can clearly see that this is not Amari, but rather the same kid he actually spoke to just minutes earlier.
What's up?
But you expect this cop to remember that long? He has a 36 IQ. What do you expect out of that?
Buddy.
Yet he's participating in this and continuing to apply handcuffs to somebody he knows is the wrong kid. In this video, we see a mom turning to the police to address her son's mental health issues. Then her son tells the police that he is struggling dealing with his mom's mental health issues. So many people in these videos need therapy. Heck, many of you have told me that you need therapy as a result of watching some of these videos. Access to mental health therapy is crucial, so I wanted to bring in a special sponsor for this video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp makes starting therapy super easy. Just take a quiz and get matched with a licensed therapist quickly. Then you can communicate with your therapist however you feel most comfortable, whether phone, text, or email. Switch therapist anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit for you. As a lawyer dealing with these sorts of interactions day in and day out, therapy has helped me stay positive and able to move forward every day, getting things done without letting all the negativity get to me. One of the things that I've learned to do is every couple of hours to just try to stop what I'm doing, go outside, get some fresh air, some real sunlight. You have to stay on top of your mental health, and you can. Over 6 million people to date have gotten help through BetterHelp, earning a 4.8 out of 5 rating on the App Store. So click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/civilrightslawyer and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Now back to the video. Eventually, one of the officers bothers to ask, "Are you Armani?" And Judah says no. Then Officer Markle runs across the street to now look for Armani.
Is that female?
I was just in the car with her. I was one of the car with her. You were there.
What?
I was in.
I don't know.
Are you Armani? No. You're not Armani? No. I don't know what's going on. I was in the car. Why are you running from us? I'm not
Go to
running.
that guy. You said there was somebody
I was crossing the street.
What's your name?
Judah, Armani ran. I saw Armani run. I know his mom.
Meanwhile, the other two officers, Joseph and Alibis, leave Judah handcuffed and injured, prone in the dirt as they question him.
I know Armani's mom. I know Armani's mom. I was in the car with her. Somebody was talking to her. I was with Armani's mom. I was in the car with her. And I was just walking home. She gave me.
Where do you live at?
I was dog sitting.
Do you have an ID?
No.
Finally, they unhandcuff Judah as he complains to them that they've injured his arm.
Okay, all right.
I've done nothing, sir.
I got you.
Taking off running, man. I didn't. I was crossing the street.
Looking at the case report that you provided, they or whoever wrote the report claims that your client was not complying and was resisting. Is that true?
No, not from what I could tell. In fact, as soon as they got his attention by identifying him by what he was wearing, he stopped, fell to his knees, hands out, a completely submissive position. I don't know how much more compliant you can be.
I didn't see where you could see what happened when Judah was crossing the street. The officer is claiming that he saw him running, but Judah said, "No, I was just crossing the street." Can you give some insight into like Judah's point of view, where he was going just prior to being confronted by the officer?
He was on his way back to a house where he was dog sitting for a missionary family that was out of town. So he had been doing some neighbors a favor, watching their dogs. That's where he was headed back to. So he was trying to cross the street and probably was running or jogging to beat traffic, just to make sure he didn't get hit by traffic on the road. If you assume that Judah really was Armani, everything is problematic from the minute that a police officer jumps out of his car, taser in hand, and screams at him, "I will f***ing tase you." And then to approach a boy who, again, at that point, even with the adrenaline of the chase, which is, about the only thing they could possibly blame it on, there isn't a single question asked. There's no de-escalation. If they really believe this is a boy who was in some type of mental health crisis and needed help, that, his mother was concerned about him, there was no reason for this encounter with my client to have those kinds of threats of violence and then the violence actually imposed on him while he was on his knees with his hands in the air with no questions being asked, not a single question. For instance, why are you running? I'm trying to cross the street and not get hit by a car. Are you looking for Armani? I'm not Armani. My name's Judah. I mean, nothing, no questions, just the violence that was effected by the police while he was on his knees on the ground. It can't possibly be the policy and procedure of the city of Melbourne and its police department to treat someone, a teenager who's in a mental health crisis like that, who's in a completely submissive position. I can't imagine that is the standard protocol on how to treat a teenager who has committed no crime, who's not suspected of committing any crime, and who is on his knees on the ground, so clearly without any exigent circumstance.
I'm trying to cross the street, sir. No! You're good, bro. Fucking arm. What's wrong with your arm? I'm looking at it. Just look at my arm. Where? I put my arm just looking at it. Oh, fuck. Where? Whatever. It was like, I don't know, but that shit hurt.
55 to 62, this is not our money.
I was just trying to cross the street. I'm sorry, but damn, y'all niggas got me. What the fuck? I didn't even do nothing. Oh, fuck. You good? I kept flips on my arm and stepped and I thought it plates. Okay, moving it. It looks like it's I got
Signal 8, possible 20 Bravo.
I'll get you ready. Just hang tight, alright? Hey, can she come over here? Huh? Can she come over here? Yeah, go over there, I got him.
Copy, I'm coming over to you now.
Then Officer Alabis leaves Judah with Officer Joseph, and he gets in his cruiser and he drives across the road to assist Officer Markle with searching for Armani. Then Alabis gets on the phone with somebody to discuss what had just happened. Presumably, this is a supervisor of some sort. In this conversation, Alabis admits that Judah was walking across the road, not running. Note that during this time, Officer Alabis shows no sense of urgency, as if there's a teenager in danger because he's missing and needs to be located immediately.
I don't know if he has friends over here, but he apparently jumped the fence at the end of this one and came in here. So
he said something. I heard him saying something about a black hat.
Yeah, it's a black shirt, black shorts, like a do-rag.
Okay. 55 Melbourne. We're going to have one outstanding. It's going to be a Hispanic male juvenile, black shirt, possible black do-rag. Last seen eastbound, he jumped the wall into Cambridge, and unknown from there. Just a signal 8 and possible 20 Bravo.
He seems much more worried about paperwork and documentation.
Yeah, well, we literally got on scene and he ran out the back door, so. Okay, we can cancel all this right now. Just let me know. I would imagine so. We really didn't get the opportunity to ask. She was screaming at us about, yes, mom is here, yes. Okay, does dispatch need... So he was apparently walking across Lake Washington. I don't know, they said he's running across Lake Washington, white shirt, got out, we grabbed him, took him to the ground, and he's saying he thinks his elbow dislocated. I don't know. But I'm with 62 here, but do you want the paperwork in comms? Yeah, do you want the paperwork in comm center, or you just want her to sign a paper?
Then Officer Markle, who by now had turned his body cam off prematurely, gets into Officer Alabis's cruiser and they begin to talk about what had just transpired. Once again, Officer Alabis admits that he did not see Judah running or even crossing the road, but that Judah was already where he was standing when he first saw him when he pulled up on him.
I'm gonna, you wanna ride? I'm gonna shoot back over there. You can get in the front, you're good. You can get in the front.
It's in front?
Yeah, you're good.
Damn, you're hot as a motherfucker.
I don't know where he would have gone. I never even saw him.
I didn't either. He didn't run out the bag, so.
Because that's the kid you guys were chasing, right?
Yeah. No, so the kid in the white, well, yeah, the one that was in the black hat is the one who we're looking for.
Yes. So when Mom started screaming, he's running out the back. Were you guys chasing a white shirt?
Yeah.
And he was running?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that must have been a distraction for...
yeah, because I think Mom said they're friends, right?
Yep. So...
Of course.
That was definitely a
Because
distraction.
I was going to say, because I'm like, well, he had to have been running. Because I only saw him when he was already over there. Mm-hmm. And I pulled up on him. Got him on the ground. But...
Then the two officers discuss how Judah's arm could have dislocated. Markle starts to formulate a justification, floating the idea that he thought Judah was reaching for a gun or a knife. But Officer Alabis doesn't get the hint, apparently, and he says he has no idea how it happened.
What happened to him?
So he's saying he thinks, I guess, something dislocated. I don't know. Probably when he was, like, clenching, when we were trying to get him.
I thought he was reaching for a gun, I'm not gonna lie, or a knife or something.
I have no idea.
In the official report, Officer Markle wrote, "As the juvenile resisted, I saw a black backpack on the juvenile's back and further observed the juvenile to be reaching under his left hip into the waistband of his blue sweatpants. It should be noted appendix carry, waistband carry, is a popular style of concealed weapons carry, and having reason to believe the juvenile was a danger to himself and or others, I had the reason to believe he was possibly reaching for a weapon." This is obviously a complete garbage lie that...
This isn't a lie. This is just bullshit. This is the kind of crap that we allow cops to do because they're not held accountable. If they go to jail or if they go to court for something, they get a slap on the wrist. Now, it is changing, and it's changing slowly. But there's no reason why they should be allowed to get away with this. It's a joke.
Began with the conversation between Alabis and Markle in the police cruiser. Alabis is the primary officer who took Judah to the ground and who appears to have injured his arm, and yet he admittedly had no thoughts of Judah ever being armed or reaching for a weapon. Markle seems to have fabricated this lie as justification for the use of force that ended up injuring Judah. He also added the lie that they had reason to believe that the kid they were looking for, Armani, was believed to be dangerous to himself or others. This is a complete lie that is contradicted by the body cam footage. They were only told that he was not listening to his mom and was staying with his girlfriend when his mom didn't want him to, and that his mom wanted the officers to scare him into coming home with her. They were told nothing about Armani being dangerous to himself or others. Probably knowing that what he was writing was a stretch, Markle added into the police report the bit of nonsense about appendix carry of a concealed pistol, which has absolutely no relevance to what happened here. To the contrary, as somebody who had a concealed weapon permit in the state of Florida all the way back in the 1990s, anyone who knows anything about carrying a concealed pistol knows that you're not appendix carrying, which means in the front, while you're wearing sweatpants and no belt. That is going to be a non-starter from the very beginning. Take one or two steps and your pistol would be on the ground if you didn't shoot yourself. This would just be completely impossible. Also, we can watch the body cam of them taking Judah to the ground and handcuffing him and verify that there's no discussion whatsoever of weapons. They don't ask him if he has a weapon. They don't claim that he has a weapon. They don't even search him for a weapon. Just complete garbage lies inserted to attempt to justify the injuries that they caused to this kid. Markle also wrote in the official report, "I gave more verbal commands for the juvenile to stop resisting and to lay flat on his stomach, and he continued to disregard my lawful commands. As the juvenile continued to reach under his waistband, I pinned both of his elbows to the ground until I was able to grab both wrists in a fashion conducive to placing them in hand restraints."
Okay, now keep in mind, guys, this officer wrote down a fantasy, meaning he lied. You cannot lie in those reports. Well, you can lie in the reports. They do it all the time. But they're supposed to be held accountable. That's why the officer resigned, because he knew he'd be in trouble. And this way he can go down the street and get a job because he didn't get fired. He resigned, which is a joke to every human person in the United States that lives here, that's a part of society, a member of society. You allow these sovereign citizen cops to do whatever they want. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to back to blue. They're going to cover each other up. They're going to take care of each other at our expense. And when it goes to court and they're found liable, do they pay for it? No, we do. The taxpayer.
This is just more bad fiction from Officer Markle. We can see from the footage that he was the last one actually to reach Judah. Judah had already been taken to the ground by Officer Alabis, and Officer Joseph had already jumped in and begun assisting by the time Markle even arrived. We can also see that it was actually Alabis who had both of his hands on Judah's arms, not Markle. And as we know from their conversation in the police cruiser, Alabis had no suspicion whatsoever that Judah may be armed.
What happened to him? So he's saying he thinks I guess something dislocated. I don't know. Probably when he was like clenching, when we were trying to get his hand.
I thought he was reaching for a gun. I don't know why, or a knife or something.
I have no idea.
But rather thought that the injury happened because Judah was clenched at the time. This seems to be Markle writing fictionally as if he was Officer Alabis, or perhaps this was a joint effort where the author was sort of all three officers combined pretending to be one. But what we do know for sure, whatever that report was, that police report was complete bullshit. The body cam shows that at no point was Judah reaching in his waistband. This just did not happen. At no point did Judah disregard any commands at all. From the very first moment they saw him, that we can see him on video, his hands were in the air. Then he was told to get on the ground, and he instantly dropped to the ground. He was compliant. He was not resisting, but even so, the police officer, Alabis, threatened to use force, threatened to injure him, and then actually did so. So now they feel they need to lie and claim that Judah was resisting and not complying. Fortunately, the body cam proves otherwise.
I was asked by, I think, someone in the local media about the apparent alternative universes between what was on the body camera footage and what was in the written, sworn incident reports, and asked if I was surprised at that. And I said, unfortunately, no, I am not surprised at this. I see it all the time. I see things put in sworn police affidavits, whether they're arrest affidavits, affidavits in support of warrants for arrest, incident reports. The body cam shows nothing of the sort. Or even if there's no body cam, witness and victim testimony under oath that is diametrically opposed to what is written down after an event where the police are trying to make something look like that it was not.
Yeah, go over there.
And keep in mind, they have to put in the truth. If they don't, they get in trouble. You wondered why the cop resigned? Because he knew he was in trouble. And if he resigns, he can go down the street and work at the other cop shop. Thank God there's body cams, because you can't trust anything the cop says.
I got him.
It's all make-believe.
You good?
I was trying to explain to
I
you,
got
but
you.
y'all want to let me explain.
You were flipping out and kicking at us.
I was
Kicking at you?
Dude, you literally threw your arm towards me like you're trying to punch me when we were on the ground.
That's my fault.
What a liar.
Huh?
And you Karens and Darrens out there that say the cops don't lie, here's a perfect example. You tried to kick me. He was on his knees. Well, you tried to punch me. You had his hands wrapped up. What a lying joke.
Dislocated my arm.
Because he's running when we're chasing. And then when we tell him to stop, listen.
I wasn't doing anything.
You were.
And you guys attacked him.
You were? No, you weren't. You're just a liar.
No, we did not.
Excuse me? I mean, I'm a worried mom right now.
I understand. Can you get a picture of Armani from her, and then send it to everybody?
Yes. He's wearing his ski thing. Okay.
I was trying to explain. He said get on the ground.
Listen.
I feel bad for the kid now when he's helping me.
I understand. Then he starts fighting us.
I wasn't trying to fight. I was trying to explain.
Where was he fighting you? When you're breaking or dislocating his elbow? He's supposed to sit there and let you do that? What a bunch of scumbag cops. God. Back to Blue. Yeah, scumbag Blue.
Y'all wouldn't let me explain it. Y'all dislocated my arm.
And isn't Blue supposed to be cowardness anyway?
35 mil. Can you go ahead and roll medical? Possible dislocation.
Y'all niggas look familiar with the out of me.
Bro, you literally flipped around.
I'm just saying, good. Can I help? Can I help
Yeah.
quick? Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you want to sit up or do you want
Yeah, I just want to stand up.
to just hang tight? Look, you gotta explain, right?
I was trying to explain to him.
Okay, listen. We start running after Armani. We don't know exactly what he looks like. You match his description. You start running.
Armani's white.
I say, please stop.
You yelling at me?
Yes.
I thought you were yelling at Armani.
No.
I heard you yelling, Armani, stop. And I thought y'all saw him.
Okay. As soon as we come
Armani's like
to
this
try to detain you, you start flailing, and then literally you go to punch me. You go to punch me when I'm.
I was not trying to punch you.
You flail your arm at me.
He did not.
Hang tight. I understand that.
He was on the ground on his knees with his hands up. This cop doesn't know the difference between reality and makeup. What a joke. And you guys back this clown.
Nobody's got a gun, and I warned everybody he's gonna run.
This cop ought to be taken out and tarred and feathered.
I can give you my name if you want.
And Armani took off. Sure thing.
We are
I said it
right
too,
by
but I know my
12's
son.
car.
Everybody's still there talking in the front door. Come on now. The cops. I shouldn't have to think for you.
We had an officer in the back.
Apparently he wasn't good enough that a fucking 16-year-old ran away from him, dude. He might play football, he might be a quarterback and all that stuff, but you guys are pretty cops.
Good shit though, man. You f***ing got me, though.
All right.
Y'all really f***ed me up.
Mom, I'm worried.
Well, that's not our intention. We were just trying to detain you, but when you're flailing around,
I was just scared.
He wasn't flailing around. He was laying on the ground where you guys shoved him at. God, what a bunch of lying scumbag cops.
I understand that.
Because I heard get the f*** on the ground, I'm gonna tase you and shit. Because I didn't know what was
Anything
happening.
happens to him, I suffer, not you. You just go to work.
And I was trying to yell, I was yelling my arm, and y'all weren't listening.
I let go of that arm and I grabbed this one.
And I don't know who the f*** was that officer face. You're chill. I like you.
I apologize.
I like you. The officer face was grabbing my arm.
He's the main one that told me who he was. We thought that was Armani.
I look nothing like Armani.
Yeah, but they didn't
I
have a
don't, we
picture.
don't even know what we look like. We only have a description, and it's just.
Y'all got a description about his height? I'm 6'.
No, we didn't.
Little, Hispanic and white.
Wait. Oh, he doesn't. He looks a little mixed in there. That's what we were going off with.
Mine's half Cuban, half Puerto Rican.
I say, what we received says Hispanic 16-year-old male. That's all we have. He's a light skin, could be Hispanic, young male.
And this young man looks Hispanic? Wow. Oh my God. Oh.
Let me get your name. And then I'm gonna get your parents' info and stuff.
I was just dog sitting.
You said Judah?
Yes, sir.
And then we're here, and listen, we have.
Judah?
Yes, sir.
I yelled, please stop.
I didn't.
And then you start taking off.
I didn't know y'all were talking to me because I saw Armani run, and I just ran across the street because I was just trying to cross the street.
What's your address? Hey.
And I said, I'm leaving. I'm gonna let you cool off.
Possible dislocated elbow.
Okay. It's dislocated. I saw it.
Your elbow?
I watched it.
What happened?
Well, I was trying to help her find her son, and then they came and ran over me. And
Dude,
they were
no,
like,
I
get on
got
the
parents'
fucking
info.
ground. Get on the fucking ground. I'm gonna tase you. And so they slammed me on the ground.
So you got ran over?
No. They can't.
Oh,
they can't. And they
we were chasing a young juvenile male.
Okay.
And then I yell at him, please stop, and he starts sprinting across the
And I
street.
didn't know that they were talking to me. I thought they were talking to somebody else.
Let me see.
Yeah. I can't.
No, you don't.
I know.
Don't try and move it straight. Just keep it in the
How old are you?
position of
15.
comfort. Okay.
Where's
You
your
wiggle.
parents? They live in here. Or they're home. They're home.
Okay. Open your hands like that.
I saw the tingly whenever.
Yeah, for sure.
And my fingers are over.
Can you let go of this real quick again? I just want to take a look.
You want name and info?
Yeah, it is.
So is he the one you guys were chasing?
He was running with him. So the other one took off that way. That's nothing with us.
Once again, he was running with them? No, he wasn't. Does this cop even know what reality is?
They get on the ground confusing me with a kid who's this tall and white. No.
Can I get some light over here real quick?
Yeah.
You can over here and sit? Yeah, you want to grab a seat real quick? And then we'll go.
You know, I wonder if this cop thinks that this kid's Hispanic because of his hair. No, that's not. That'd be, no. Okay.
Yeah, I got one. So nothing else?
Tell you what, if that was my kid, I'd be suing the living shit out of the state, the county, the city, and this cop. And the rest of the cops that are with him.
It was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, okay.
It's just okay.
Shoulder
He apologized for swinging.
So he says he was flogging.
He was.
So what it sounds
he was
like,
running. He was
it sounds
running
like
with
he was.
He was running with them? He was not. What a liar. You know, these cops will do anything to cover themselves so they're not in trouble. It's a joke.
I didn't know y'all were talking to me. That's the thing. I didn't know y'all were talking to me. I thought y'all were yelling because I know he took off.
Hey, this is Lieutenant Madera with the Melbourne Fire Department. I'm here with your son Cohen. He's had an incident. Everything's fine. He just got a dislocated elbow. He wants to talk to you, but we got to take him down to the hospital. Okay? Here, I'm gonna let him talk to you. He's got Lake Washington and what's the street?
Sand Hill. Forest Park Drive.
Forest Park Drive. All right, here he is.
They confused me with somebody else and they tackled me to the ground and dislocated my arm after I was trying to warn them. I'm suing the out of them. The Melbourne Police Department. This fat ass cop. They're right here. She said she'll come get me.
She doesn't want you to go with the ambulance?
Doesn't want you to go by ambulance? All right.
Okay. Tell her we'll have a supervisor here that come talk to her.
Hey, Angela.
Yeah, we'll lift up a little bit.
Okay, when you get here,
I'm going to tie it around your head,
I'm with the fire department. I'm not sure exactly what happened before we got here. If that's something you can talk to them when you get here.
We'll have a supervisor
wait for you here because I need you to sign a case refusal form since he's a minor. If you don't want him to go back.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
So then Officer Alabis returns to where Judah is now being treated by EMS. Officer Joseph is still standing there. When engaging in a cover-up, everyone knows that you have to get your story straight with your colleagues. Alabis has already sort of done this with Markle, so now he has to do this with Officer Joseph. And Joseph claims to Alabis that Judah had already apologized for, quote, flailing and swinging at them, which we can clearly see, looking at the footage, never happened. Note that these officers know 100% that they had injured the entirely wrong kid, and yet they're still standing around, even as EMS is trying to treat the kid, and they're doing their best to sort of intimidate this innocent kid and try to get apologies out of him in order to aid in covering their own asses. Then Officer Alabis has another idea that he tries to float to Armani's mom, and he says, "You want to report him missing, correct?"
You want to report him missing, correct?
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if he went to what street?
He jumped the wall right here.
That leads to where? That leads. I'm
It's
new
an
to
apartment
Melbourne.
complex, isn't
In
it?
Somerset. Somerset.
This is yeah, I believe so.
Did you get these in the group chat?
What did you say? 5410.
He tries to insert that non-existent fact to try to make the situation sound like they were searching for this missing teenager, which just wasn't the case. But before he gets anywhere with that, Armani is just then found across the street from where they're standing.
Yeah, they're right here.
What's up, big dog? How are you? How are you?
I'm good. But my mom is cheating on me.
All right, do me a favor. I'm just going to put you in handcuffs for now.
So Officer Alabis walks across the street and he confronts Armani as two other officers are securing him in handcuffs. Note that there is no discussion or suggestion whatsoever of any concern that Armani could be armed or dangerous. We don't see him being frisked or asked about weapons. Consistent with what we know about Armani's mom's complaints, Officer Alabis instead just asks Armani why he doesn't want to go home.
Huh? I do not want to go home, sir.
Okay, you're 16 years old, bro. You don't really have a choice.
I met you before.
Why are you running?
Because I don't want to see my mom right now. I do not want to talk to my mom.
Why? Have a good one, bro.
Thanks.
Because.
Hey, dude. This is my firm. Did you know?
What do you mean that's how I get up reason? She's flicking me off. She shits me. Like, what mom does that? And I don't, like, she says she has bipolar disorder. I understand that, but she took it to a whole other level today. And I didn't like it. I've never seen that part of my mom. I had part of that too.
Armani explains that he doesn't want to go home because of his mother's erratic behavior. He explains that she has bipolar disorder. And frankly, Armani's explanation is calm and rational, whereas his mother was saying all sorts of erratic and inappropriate things to the officers, very consistent with Armani's complaints about his mom. And sure enough, just as they get back across the street, the erratic behavior of Armani's mom is on full display as she starts babbling nonsensically about her wanting her son to be committed because he's not listening to her.
Stop!
Bro,
Stop!
Talk to dad! Bro, please, can I get my father, bro?
You're
Can
good.
you call dad?
You're good. Where are you over here?
Call dad.
Come over here. Come over
Bro,
here.
he's asleep, bro. He can't do nothing, bro. He's trying to bet me.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Hey, 55.
She wants to get me Baker out there, bro. What mom
You want
does that
money?
to me, bro? What mom does that to her own son?
You're good, bro. You're good, bro. You don't have anything on you, right?
No,
knives
I
or
don't.
anything.
I do have my vape battery, though.
You
On
have
my
a vape
phone.
battery? That's
On
it?
my
No
phone.
knives or nothing?
No, sir. No, sir.
Perfect. Hey, just hang out right here. Just breathe. All right, we're going to figure this out. All right, bro?
Yeah.
Perfect. Watch your knee. I don't want it to get hit or nothing.
Your dad agreed with me.
Are you and Dad together?
Yes.
You guys, everybody lives together?
Yes, we live together.
Where's Dad at?
Dad was gonna pull up him. Aggressive, and they both went at it the other day. He almost beat up his dad in the U-Haul truck.
Okay.
His dad agrees with me. His aggressive behavior has to be handled in circles of care at this point.
So, I'm sure you're aware we can't just bake rack people to bake rack people.
I
We
understand.
need an actual reason.
His aggressive attitude. He's already tried to come at us. Him and his pops have almost had altercations in the last couple
Have
of
you guys
times.
been calling the police?
No, because I'm not gonna call the cops on my kid.
Okay.
But he's got it nasty, and I need to nip it in the bud. Not
I'm not going to call the cops on my kid. You're the one that started this whole thing, lady. You're a nutbag.
because I'm gonna lose control over my money. It's not gonna happen, bro. It's not going to happen.
Where do you guys live at?
In Wickham Club. Since he's been hanging out with this girl for the last month, he's losing control. And not even his friends recognize him. He is all over the place.
Hey, what's
and his
up?
aggressive attitude. There's 18 people down on his head.
Yes, I got him.
You know,
Yep.
escalating.
Yep.
Fine.
I think this lady ought to be locked up. She's nuttier than batshit.
Nips in the butt.
But Officer Alabis wants to get back to the cover-up. He tries now getting the story straight with Armani's mom, telling her that they thought Judah was a missing juvenile, and now claiming that Judah was running from him, even though he already admitted that he never saw Judah running. Remember that in the official police report written after this conversation takes place, it was written that officers had reason to believe that Armani was in danger to himself and or others. But here, Officer Alabis on body cam asks Armani's mother if Armani had made any statements about wanting to harm himself or harm others, and she replies, no, absolutely not.
You dropped him off when we got over here, right? He got out of your car.
This kid?
He was walking because they invited him.
Yeah, but he was.
And then I saw him and I go,
him up? Okay.
No. He was walking over here and I go, what are you doing here? He goes, they called me to come over here, and I go, get in the car because I don't want you to warn them.
Okay.
Get in the
so
car.
he started running away from us.
And when I pulled up to Jit's house, I go, get off so they don't see that you were the one that told me he's here.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah, so we think he's Armani because he's the only, kid we saw.
Yeah, we got that covered. That's fine. So, he's not Armani.
Because we're working on, now we have a missing juvenile, which is what we're operating off of. So now we're thinking he's running from us, we're trying to get him.
Yeah, no.
Right.
He on the contrary, bro. I feel so bad now that he went through that.
Right.
When he was just trying to help out. He was wrong for running because it's not like he committed a crime or anything, but I guess he just got afraid. He's a fucking
So let me ask you, is Armani making any statements about wanting to harm himself, harm others?
No,
okay, so
he just threatened to run away with her. That's all his threats.
So strictly just kind of defiant behavior.
It's threatening to run away and being aggressive towards his mom and his dad.
Okay, well, like how aggressive?
Yelling,
I know it sounds, they're bad
throwing
questions,
shit,
but
getting in his face, disrespecting his dad, calling him a dickhead, calling me crazy in front of everybody, his voice, his veins pop out of his neck type thing, and his, that type of thing. Okay, that type of thing that you get scared of. Okay, and throwing punches, not happening. It's not happening. His dad used to be like that, and I calmed his ass down. He needs to be put on check. He needs a reality check. Because when he gets into a relationship, that aggressive behavior is not going to get him anywhere.
Okay.
So he's throwing punches and stuff. Not punches, like physically.
He just threatened to run away with his girlfriend. He made no other threats. Yet somehow the opposite of that is what ended up in the police report. Alibis tries to get her to give him something to work with, but the best that mom can do is complain that Armani called her crazy. And we can see from her behavior why he would say that. In fact, she admitted that she had been committed in the past multiple times for her own mental health issues. Maybe these cops should be less concerned with covering their own asses and more concerned with whether perhaps Armani is in danger by being forced to live with his mother, who appears to be unstable. Then a female officer walks up, who I assume is a supervisor from all of the red patches on her shoulder, and Alibis starts to explain to her what had happened. His story to her now is that they have a missing juvenile, and they're desperately searching for this missing juvenile. And as we know, he wasn't missing. He just didn't want to go home with his mom. The reason Alibis is phrasing it in this context is that it makes it seem more reasonable to just go and tackle somebody and ask questions later if you're searching for this missing child.
He's got a dislocated elbow.
Why did we trace him?
We thought it was Armani. So we get to the house, mom's out front, she's like, we put Marco on the back, so he's probably gonna.
The supervisor specifically asks, the mom is here to report a missing juvenile?
We're working off the assumption that now we have a missing juvenile, right?
His mom's here to report we have a missing
Yes.
Okay.
He says yes, despite the fact that that never happened. The only time the word missing was ever used was when Alibis himself tried to get the mom to say that after the fact, and she still didn't claim that.
So she's like, he's running. So Dylan and Marco take off. I get in the car, come out. There's like, he's running eastbound, he's crossing Lake Washington. So I see him, he's like, white shirt.
Then Alibis lies more to the supervisor. Though he phrases his words carefully, he makes it sound like he saw Judah running away from the police, claiming that at some point he saw Judah stop and turn when he first saw him. In reality, he already admitted that he never saw Judah running.
So I get there, he like stops and turns. We grab him, we get him on the ground, he's on his back, and he's like going like this.
Alibis then tells the supervisor simply, we get him on the ground. He omits from the story that it was him who first confronted Judah, and that what really happened was that Judah immediately held his hands up, and that the officer himself threatened to tase him as he walked towards him and then shoved him into the ground without ever even bothering to identify who he was. Alibis then tells the supervisor that somehow, some way the kid got hurt as they handcuffed him. He doesn't know how it happened.
He's not giving us his hands, we flip him over, we get his hands behind his back. Somehow, some way, something got hurt. I don't know. He, from what Dylan and Marco said, he was actively running away from us.
Yeah, well, he didn't have any reason to
No. So we're thinking he's Armani. He's not Armani. Armani took off that way. I guess Plancher found him down there. He's in the back of the car. Mom's adamant he needs to be Baker acted. I have got nothing that says he needs to be Baker acted. Apparently he's just being He's 16, he gets mad, he gets aggressive, they're scared. No statements about self-harm. Basically just, I'm going to run away with my girlfriend.
Yet the police report would later claim that Judah was resisting, failing to comply, and reaching in his waistband. And this is where things get even more backwards. After Officer Alibis gets done explaining to the supervisor that Armani hasn't done anything worthy of being Baker acted, she basically says, oh well, Baker acted him anyways, close enough.
Did mom say he was doing shit that was Baker act worthy at home?
Just getting aggressive, yelling, throwing things, defiant teenager acts.
Throwing?
Yeah, but not physically hitting anybody. She just clarified that. Just, they're scared of you.
Throwing things and threatening
Yes.
people. We're going to be out with mama.
By the way, in Florida, the legal standard for being committed under the Florida Mental Health Act, otherwise known as the Baker Act, pretty much boils down to whether or not someone presents a substantial likelihood of causing serious bodily harm to themselves or others in the near future, as shown by their recent behavior. By contrast, refusing to obey parents, angry outbursts or arguments, or running away from home by itself generally would not justify a Baker Act commitment. In this case, the video evidence establishes conclusively that the statutory criteria for involuntary commitment was not met, and yet these officers are going along with it because that's what this erratic mom wants. No wonder Armani was running away from both his mom and the cops.
So okay, so
Yes. He's
now,
going to go to Circles of Care.
Okay, and then what happens after that?
When the doctor releases him, they'll call you to come pick him
It's
up.
usually going to be in the morning.
More than likely.
Yeah,
Could
that's
be the night,
usually
could be the morning, could be 3 days. It's
Oh,
up to
just
72 hours.
Did they talk to him though? Like, I'm not.
Yeah, so basically what will happen is he'll go into COC and then he'll have to meet with a doctor specialist.
He'll talk with them, they'll go over everything, and if they think he's enough to be cleared, then they'll clear him.
Yeah.
It's up to them at that
I mean, I don't
point.
want him like that and like Baker to that extent, but at least so he can see the reality check when he's doing that. His aggressive attitude is concerning.
What's
and it's
16?
escalating, and the fact that he's threatening to run away from home and that, you know?
Yeah, what's 16 running from the cops and your parents is
That's
different than
already
if you're 8.
Guys, I'm going to interject here. I've had 3 boys that I raised. Luckily, I didn't have any girls. I don't have the fortitude to put up with that crap. But 3 boys, I'm telling you, they are a handful. And when they were 15, 16 years old, there's several times where I've met my boys in the backyard, and it's like, all right, Sparky, what do you want to do? You know, you want to throw down? Let's throw down. Let's go. That's just boys. That's the way they do. I did it to my dad when I was a kid. You know, there's only one time where I've, called my father out, and I was wrong. I made a mistake. He called me on it. I got upset. We never threw down, but, it happens. Okay. They're boys. And for this woman to do all this and get a young man hurt in the interim of it, this woman's as responsible as the cops are. And the cops are just trying to cover their ass like they always do. It doesn't matter what the rules are. It doesn't matter what the regulations are. It doesn't matter what happened. As long as you cover that blue ass, you're good. Such a joke.
18 older running from the cops or your parents, right? Now you have actual charges that you can do. So,
Okay, so it makes sense. So I'm doing the right thing as a parent.
We're taking them now? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
What does she want?
Just wants us to leave.
Okay. Did one of you guys get a statement from her?
Yeah.
Okay. Sworn statement? A sworn statement from mom? All right. Yep.
It does seem to me that Judah is not the only victim here. I really feel sorry for Armani, who seems to be sort of at a loss of what to do about his erratic mom. While Armani is sitting in the police cruiser, Officer Markle interviews him, and Armani makes it very clear that he's not a danger to himself or anyone else, but that he just needed to get some time away from his mother. Yet, despite all the evidence pointing to the fact that this is not a true Baker Act situation, he still gets sent to the very place that he's afraid of being sent. It's almost like Armani's mom knows that her son is afraid of being sent to circles of care, and so she has him sent exactly there, just as a punishment.
Like, basically where he is now, he got here and just, like, laid down, so... But, like, he started, like, doing, like, all this shit, so we're like, oh, he's, like, reaching for something. So we just pulled taser. We didn't tase him or nothing, but...
The whole reason I wanted to avoid her is because she was already threatening to send me to circles of care. I did not want to go to circles of care.
I got you. You don't want to hurt yourself or anything, correct? Okay. You don't want to hurt anyone else.
She's like, because she said I've been aggressive lately.
Okay.
Because I've been yelling back at her, so she thinks that I'm trying to be aggressive towards her.
Oh, perfect.
And she threatened me to send me to circles of care, so I was like, no, I'm just not talking to you. When you're ready to talk to me like a normal person, then I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Because she was screaming at me.
I gotcha. So right now what's going to happen is, unfortunately, you are going to get vague-directed. Okay. So, I have to take all this stuff out of your pockets really quick. All right, bro. I gotcha. I know, it's not ideal, but do you want your mom to have your vape battery so that it doesn't get thrown out or something?
Let me go in your pocket real quick.
All right, you good, bro. You don't have nothing up here, right? Nothing in this one? Perfect. Sweet. All right. Hang out here. All right. I know it's kind of a shitty situation, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Wait, she could change her mind? No, she wants me Baker acted, like for real.
So I don't know who decided to Baker act you, but I'm gonna talk to them really quick, and then I'll come back and let you know. All right.
Am I allowed to speak to my mom before?
Yeah, I can see if I can get her to come over here and talk to you. All right. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. All right, man. Hey, Mom.
Hi.
This is his vape battery.
That's my vape
If we
battery.
take it, it's gonna get destroyed.
Yeah, let me have his
Here's
stuff.
his cell phone.
Okay.
Um.
The little girl never got found, huh?
Huh?
I'll be right back. You didn't find her?
No,
Little
she's
skank?
probably still inside. But
Wait, there's underage drinking going on in there and everything. That's why I said, oh, so you guys are gonna, on top of that, you're gonna have underage drinking. You're gonna cover my son. They knew he was in there.
I got you.
They knew he was in there. Everybody told me he's there. What a coincidence. They act all stupid.
I gotcha.
Armani's mom appears to me to be abusing the system to use as leverage against her teenage son. Instead of just parenting like the rest of us, she's asking the police and circles of care to do that for her.
I wait for the call.
Yep, so he's gonna get Baker acted.
Do I get a report or anything or no?
So we already got everything. Okay. So they're gonna remove him as a runaway juvenile, and then he'll be at COC. So he's gonna get evaluated, and then it could be tonight, could be like 3 days from now, because the Baker Act is 72 hours.
I know.
So it could be tonight that the psych evaluation says he doesn't meet their criteria, which he'll give you a call, and then at that point, you'll just need to come pick him up, and then...
I don't care if he rebels for a little bit after this, but he'll get over it.
Yep.
They always do.
Yep.
We were all teens at one point.
Oh, 100%.
We were all teens, okay? So we
he'll
all
be
went
pissed
through it
off
and
for a
we'll get
little
over
bit,
it.
and then he'll get over it, and I'm sure y'all figure it out. He's 16.
16, he just turned 16 in April. He's trying to act like his freaking sister. That when she turned 18, she goes, Mom, I'm an adult. No, you're not an adult.
I can do adult things.
I'm 44 and I still I'm still growing up. Hon, do I take you home or is Angela coming?
His mom's on the way.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for Angela. And like I said, oh my God, you've been on Angela. Is she on her way?
Yes, Mom's on the way.
I'm only short.
We didn't know. We hadn't seen Armani.
Short, see, and that's what's your short versus my short, you know?
All I saw is you dart out the side yard, and I was like, oh, it's on.
Were you nearby the apartment?
Yeah, it's the same.
And I was just walking home after she had because you were there.
I was there. I was right there over here.
You saw me walk over there.
I mean, you just took off.
Because I was walking home. I was walking back home.
Walking or running?
Walking.
Walking?
And then I ran across the street because I didn't want to walk across the street while there were also cars coming.
That makes sense.
I didn't want to slow down the flow of traffic.
Okay.
And I'm not just gonna stop in the middle of the road while you're yelling, There she is.
Hi, are you Miss Angela?
I am.
I'm Officer Markle. So his friend got Baker-acted, and we thought it was him because he ran to. His friend had to get Baker-acted, unfortunately. We thought it was him because he just ran, so we thought it was him that we were looking for, but turns out it wasn't. But now he's complaining of maybe shoulder or elbow pain.
Slammed him on the ground?
No!
Somebody did.
I'm the nice cop.
No, and I'm suing the out of Melbourne Police Department, and I'm taking.
The cop, I'm a nice guy. He's a lying scumbag, blue lives person. He's a cop.
Hundreds of thousands.
But you ran.
Stop. They slammed me on the ground. I was yelling, my arm. They kept on pushing down on it. They didn't let me explain myself.
All right. So we're here. I just got here. Your son, your mom?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Mom. What was your first name? I'm sorry.
Angela.
Angela, my sergeant said. So I just got here. He has an arm injury. We believed he was a runaway juvenile that needed to be Baker-acted. We believed he was her son that we were looking for when he came out of the apartment. Armani was running away. We thought this was Armani. We knew he might have been a danger to himself or others. Turns out he's not Armani. He was just running across the street. And so that's where we're at. He does have an arm injury. He just came from the same apartment.
So Armani's gone?
He's been Baker-acted, yes.
Okay.
So that happened. Do you want him to go by ambulance to the hospital?
I can take him.
You can take him?
Yeah.
All right, these fine gentlemen will need you to sign some paperwork.
Okay.
It's just your patient refusal form says we can check him out.
Okay.
We go by ambulance,
I think the officer that slammed me is still in his squad car or something. Or he pulled off. I don't know.
What's his name?
I don't know. I didn't get his name. He wouldn't tell
Truth
me.
be told, it was me.
Oh, it was you?
And your
I
name
like you
is?
too, man.
Officer Markle. Officer Markle, 5664.
All right. Let's, somebody get her a
That was
copy
the
of the
officer with
case.
the mustache. I don't know his name.
And
It was
Officer Alabies.
Ford or something.
It was me and Officer Alabies.
All right. Can somebody get her a copy of the case number so they can get out of here?
Yep.
Thank you.
Right now. We gotta take pictures.
Here's the case number, and then I'm the first one, and then
Okay.
Officer Alabies was my partner, so
Okay.
he knew then just it'll be in that, okay? I was. Do you need help?
Okay.
What else? Is it this right here?
Yeah.
Do you have any scrapes on you or anything like that?
No.
Can we see those on your elbow? Are your knees scratched up or anything like that? Is anything else on you hurt? All right, and you do not want an ambulance, right?
I will take him and I will be in touch with you guys and I'll let you know the extent of injuries. And
You don't really need
I
to.
know, but I'm going to be in touch with because he shouldn't have been slammed on the ground. And,
All right.
you know.
Bullshit. I was trying. I
Do you
didn't
have
even
the case
explain
number?
myself.
Yes,
If
I
you need
have it.
anything else, you'll be good.
Overreaction.
Piece of shit, dude.
We're very
Actually,
sorry. I'm very sorry.
for no reason. You fat piece of bacon.
Hey, Judah. Come on, Judah.
Stand on that.
No, Dave. I took it
Dumbass.
even down. I understand your Judah. Judah.
All right,
They
you
slammed me
guys
on the ground and dislocated my arm. I have a right to call him a
Judah.
No,
dumbass.
Your mom taught you better than that. Come on, buddy.
Hey, who's this?
She is a dumbass.
We're going to
He is
Hush.
a
We're going to
dumbass.
we're going to stand for what's right and what's
It is
truthful.
what right.
You guys are good.
I didn't. They don't even let me explain
I
myself.
understand
You
your
dumbass.
upset.
Hey, Judah. Come on. All right.
Slam me on the ground for no reason, dumbass.
You're fine.
Judah.
You guys slammed him on the ground for no reason.
So he's a juvenile, so we can't discuss this with you.
That's
Mom
crazy,
has
yo.
all the information.
They ain't. 1098.
I knew that was gonna happen with her, but she's not easy. I knew
You're
that was
fine.
gonna happen.
You're
I already
fine.
know it.
You need a ride to your car?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I know. Thank you guys so much, and I'm sorry in the beginning I was
You're
a little
good.
bit worked up. Like
You're
I said,
good.
I'm a mom. Miles is at it too, bro? He's
good.
military too. What the hell,
You're
Miles?
You're good.
Oh, y'all stupid ass bitches!
We're still recording. This is still recording. Am I in trouble? Bro, I didn't even freaking do nothing. 1088.
Officer Markle should have recognized from the very beginning that Armani's mom doesn't get to utilize the power of the state to discipline her son for her. She specifically said that she wanted them to scare her son for her.
Make it dramatic for him.
Yeah, 100%. We'll do the whole thing.
She didn't allege that any crime had been committed. She didn't allege that Armani was a threat to himself or anyone else. She didn't allege that Armani was missing. She knew right where he was. He just didn't want to see her. Armani was a 16-year-old, not a toddler. Just a couple of days ago, a 16-year-old in California made national news working as a lifeguard and saving lives at the beach. There is a big difference between a young child and a 16-year-old young man. Officer Markle should have considered that there was nothing for him to do there. Not everything is a job for the police to solve. But here we are. We have two major constitutional violations that occurred. One, the officer seized the wrong person without justification. And two, the manner in which they seized him was excessive under the circumstances. Why was the seizure not justified? The officers were never told that Judah had committed any crime or that any crime at all had even been committed, so there was no reasonable suspicion to detain him as part of an investigatory detention, much less arrest him or use force on him. Judah was detained at the end of a taser. He was told to get on the fucking ground and then was violently shoved onto the ground. Under different circumstances, this could have been justified, but here, even if they had the right teenager, there would not have been justification. Police officers are allowed to engage in a limited investigatory detention of individuals they reasonably suspect have committed criminal activity. Such stops may last only as long as necessary to achieve their limited investigatory purpose. Mistaking Judah for Armani wasn't reasonable, first of all. He didn't match the description of Armani. The officers had already seen Judah with Armani's mom and should have known that that was not him. The officers also had already seen a photo of Armani. The officers had no excuse not to make any attempt at identifying Judah before just using violence on him. The whole thing was unreasonable on every level. Then, worst of all, there was nothing limited or reasonable about the detention. Even though Judah instantly froze and he put his hands in the air and then he dropped to the ground when ordered to, he was cursed at, he was threatened with being tased, and then he was violently shoved into the dirt. Then they took his arm and bent it back behind him in a direction that it wasn't supposed to bend, dislocating his elbow. Under the Graham factors, this was an unnecessary and excessive use of force. There was no serious crime at issue. Judah posed zero threat to anyone, and he was not in the process of resisting or evading arrest. He wasn't even under arrest. No force was justified, but force was applied, substantial enough to cause injury. People are always told that if you comply, you won't get injured, and that's just not true, as we can see here. This is the scariest part of this encounter and why it is so serious. Not only was this a 15-year-old kid who did nothing wrong, but he actually complied, and they still treated him with utter disdain and violence. That's why it is so important that police officers who do this be held accountable. Here, we are led to believe that there was some level of accountability. It was reported that Officer Markle resigned after this incident. We even found where Markle supposedly posted this defiant post on Facebook saying, "I'm sorry for what happened to you. I'm not." This was reported by the Space Coast Rocket Facebook page, who also alleged that Markle had a documented disciplinary history despite only having about 18 months on the job. The TV news has also reported that Markle resigned in the wake of this incident, and I haven't seen where the Melbourne Police Department has contradicted or clarified that reporting.
15 days after that takedown, Markle resigned. His letter says he wanted to pursue other career opportunities and does not mention this incident.
Do you have any indication yet as to the reason that he resigned?
We do not. I don't know if this was something that was planned and the timing just looks bad, or if he was notified that there was going to be an internal affairs investigation or potentially disciplinary action, and he chose to resign instead of participating in that. I don't know. again, something that likely will come out with the ultimately the formal FOIA response we received from the city.
Now, I'm not suggesting that Officer Markle acted properly here at any point, but I don't think he was the worst actor here. It was Officer Alibis who jumped out of his cruiser and told the wrong teenager to get on the ground and threatened to tase him. It was Officer Alibis, in my viewing of the footage, who actually had both of his hands on Judah's arm that was injured. And I believe that it was Officer Alibis who just seconds earlier had threatened to break that arm. While not innocent in the matter, it appears to me that Officer Markle was used as a fall guy. He was relatively new, only around 18 months. He already had some disciplinary history. He talks a little funny.
We thought it was him because he just ran, so we thought it was him that we were looking for, but turns out it wasn't.
And he runs a little funny, and so they just decided to throw him in the volcano so that the media and the public could have somebody to blame for this obvious screw up of a situation that is now getting them sued and making them look bad. What about Officer Alibis? And what about...
Okay, guys. Now, when he says getting them sued, meaning that the family of the young man that got hurt is they're going to take him to court and they're going to sue the city and the county and the officers. Now, the money doesn't come out of the pockets of the officers that did this, the Alibis and the other gentleman. It comes out of the pockets of the citizens of the area, of that community. When's this going to stop? It needs to start coming out of their pension funds so that they can pay for it instead of us. Let them pay for their own mistakes.
Officer Joseph, who was right there and said nothing and did nothing. Why not hold them accountable? And what about the official police report being full of lies, as I've demonstrated in this video? Is it acceptable for police officers to lie in police reports? As of right now, the Melbourne Police Department is saying yes. Thankfully, civil rights attorney Dan Faherty has taken the case and he is now representing Judah and his family. But it shouldn't be necessary. If you support the police, then you support holding bad cops accountable. Even if Officer Alibis had found the actual correct teenager that he was looking for that day, it wasn't okay for him to immediately threaten to tase him and then to injure his arm despite the kid being compliant. And it wasn't okay for the subsequent police report to be full of lies. It's undisputed that Judah was the wrong person. Judah was completely innocent, and yet all this happened to him. Did subsequently the Melbourne Police Department or the city of Melbourne apologize to Judah and his family for their mistakes, for what they did to him?
Not to my knowledge. Or, for instance, even an offer to pay for his initial hospitalization or emergency room treatment, nothing.
So what happens next?
We have now placed the city of Melbourne on notice of both Judah's claim and that of his mother, who's not only acting as his parent and natural guardian for his claims against the city and the individual police officers involved, but also for her own mental distress, having walked up upon the scene right after it happened and seeing what had happened to her son. Florida law requires that for any state law claims against any governmental entity, any political subdivision of the state of Florida, that they be given an opportunity to investigate the claims for a period of 6 months. So those notice letters went out, I believe, at the same time that our Freedom of Information Act request went out. The city has already referred this case to a lawyer, and we have been instructed to have no further contact with the city of Melbourne, with the League of Cities, which is basically serves as an insurer for the city. We've requested that the city agree to a pre-suit mediation sometime this fall, because by then I believe I will have more information about the nature and extent of not only the fracture to my client's elbow, but the dislocation of his elbow, which then, I guess, relocated on its own after he was freed from the handcuffs. But we don't know right now what this portends for his future, especially concerned because of his age, the fact that growth plates in the arm could have been affected by the fracture, and also what he's looking at down the road in terms of traumatic arthritis building in that joint as he ages, that would be something completely separate and apart from the natural, aging process that could materially affect his use of that right arm in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. So we'll know more about that by this fall after I've had a chance to talk to the pediatric orthopedic surgeon. Hopefully, it will not have affected the growth plate and he'll return to a normal range of motion, free of pain. I'm hoping all that happens, but I'm not even making any demands upon the city at this point until I know more about the long-term effects, if any, of this injury.
I grew up there in Melbourne. I have family there now. I'll even be there this weekend for my mother's funeral. I know that the community supports the police department there just generally, but you can't just knee-jerk support bad cops who break the rules, who violate constitutional rights. You support the police by weeding out the bad cops, cops who are willing to lie and harm innocent teenagers in order to cover up their mistakes, cops who are willing to use violence against a 15-year-old kid with his arms raised in the air. It may seem trivial to some and the cost of doing business to keep the community safe, but it's not. This incident was entirely unnecessary. It should not have happened, but it will happen again if nobody other than Markle is held accountable. Dan's lawsuit is still in the early stages. He's promised to keep me informed, and maybe next time I can interview him in person because his connection always seems to be not that great. So you can follow along by subscribing both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can follow me on X and the other socials at John Bryan ESQ. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Okay, guys. So anyway, like I said, go over to John Bryan and tell him I seen you guys over there. Hit his like and subscribe. Hit my like and subscribe if you would, please. If you've done it before, do it again so you make sure you're there. Leave me a comment. The boys in blue need to learn that they work for us. We don't work for them. And they need to start paying their own way on this. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. And guys, be safe. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.